Welcome to Be Less Stupid. I'm the host, Jon Hotchkiss. A quick bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you are enjoying these videos, I would urge you to please share them on Facebook. Facebook has set up a new system that controls what you see in your feed. And in order for my videos to get seen, you have to both share and comment on them. So if you do that, I say thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get right to it. Yes, it is genuinely thrilling to see so many Democrat and liberal neighbors mobilize for a few hours of 1960s era style political activism.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey!
However, the Women's March 2018 in Los Angeles left me a little disappointed. Not disappointed in the 700,000 people from Los Angeles who, for the first time in years, stopped thinking about box office numbers, ratings, and traffic to think about something that was actually important. I was disappointed by whomever was responsible for organizing and vetting the speakers who addressed the crowd before the march, who hectored the multiplying throng with a multitude of fringe grievances, rather than focusing on the most important issue of the day. I was disappointed by whomever was responsible for organizing and vetting the speakers who spoke at the rally after the march for not producing a cohesive event focused on the most important issue of the day. It was an event that sorely lacked a concise set of goals, a shared set of values, and failed at many turns to inspire young girls to pursue a career in public service. I'm disappointed that after accomplishing the Herculean task of spearheading a movement, spreading the word, and getting 700,000 people from the Los Angeles area to schlep to downtown, a place most of us used to think was where you'd go to get peed on or knifed, the crowd dispersed as the sun began to set with no clear or discernible message about how to stay in touch and, more importantly, what to do and how to ensure change in the White House and Congress between getting home from the rally and Tuesday, November 6th, Election Day 2018. Yes, I understand that some might accuse me of standing on the sideline and throwing rocks at people doing the actual work, and how easy that is. But I wasn't just on the sidelines. I was there at two rallies, last year and this year, and I had the same experience both times. Before the rally, I made a sign, and so did my kids. At the rally, I filmed the very best signs so that I could share them with my 20,000 Facebook followers. Yes, I also know how difficult it can be when there are multiple factions in an organization fighting to have their individual messages heard. But a slam poem by a new media artist that mostly just attacked men, a history lesson on the low wages of Filipino domestic workers, and a 15-minute lecture on the fate of two Palestinian girls arrested by Israeli police forces before the rally were tales told at the wrong time and in some cases to the wrong crowd, many of whom were Jews and fierce supporters of Israel. Plus, about half the crowd was men. But it wasn't the multiple fringe issues per se that left me disappointed by the organizers of the rally. It's that, like the Bush administration after the invasion of Iraq, the organizers didn't have a plan for what to do next. The organizers of the Women's March did not have a clear message for the 700,000 of us about the issues and situations we actually do have the power to change. Because all it's going to take for the Democrats to create the change that we desire is to flip the House and the Senate, to regain control of the government. And those seeds have already been planted. A Democrat has won the Senate race in Alabama, where they pronounce Jew with 3 syllables. Democrats won in Virginia. Trump is even less popular today than Magic Johnson would be at a KKK rally. And all that is needed for Democrats to flip the House is to hold the seats we currently have and win just 24 more, and it's just 3 seats in the Senate. Nearly half of the House seats considered flippable are here in California. Why weren't 700,000 liberal Californians introduced to the Democrats running in the flippable districts? Why weren't we introduced to the women running in those flippable districts? Why weren't we introduced to, say, 29-year-old Katie Hill running for the House against incumbent Republican Stephen Knight, who represents an area in northern Los Angeles and supports limiting abortion and building a border wall? Why weren't we instructed where to donate? Why didn't they set up stations where people could donate right there on the spot? Why weren't we told which races needed volunteers? Why weren't we told over and over again that the quickest way that Democratic voters can impeach the president is to vote and then regain control of the House and the Senate? We cannot wait for Robert Mueller. We cannot wait for Republicans to do the right thing. It will take longer for Republicans to grow a conscience than it took for astronaut Matt Damon to grow potatoes on Mars in his own poop. If the Democrats want to ensure affordable health care, we must get control of the Congress. If Democrats want to ensure 800,000 dreamers remain in the U.S., we must get control of the Congress. If the Democrats want to ensure that the next Supreme Court justice supports a woman's right to choose and equal pay, we must get control of the Congress. If Democrats want to keep marriage legal for gays, lesbians, and the transgendered, we must get control of the Congress. If Democrats want America's borders to remain open to all ethnicities and religions, we must get control of the Congress. If Democrats want to ensure that Donald Trump is only a one-term president, we must get control of the Congress. And there is only one way to do that. There is just one way. And it is the most important things Democrats must do between now and Election Day. And that's win 24 seats in the Congress and 3 seats in the Senate. I'm very sorry. But every other issue, every other thing that you care about, every other political MacGuffin, every other important political issue, drilling in Alaska, student loans, campaign finance reform, workplace harassment, domestic surveillance, or race relations, everything else has to wait. Because while Donald Trump remains in office, like Jim Croce said, you're just spitting into the wind. And it's not just the organizers who are at fault. Voters share some of the blame too. 45% of us did not vote in 2016. Look, I wish that the punishment for not voting was like a no Halo ice cream for a week. But it's not. The punishment for not voting is a ban on Muslims traveling to the U.S. The punishment for not voting is a colossal tax break for the rich. The punishment for not voting is the government takes away your health care. The punishment for not voting is a president and his team who conspired with the Russians to affect the outcome of the election. The punishment for not voting is violent white supremacists marching on the streets of Charlottesville. The punishment for not voting is tiki torches that used to be 3 for $10, now cost $25 apiece. The punishment for not voting is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: Stephen Miller, Stephen Bannon, Sean Spicer, and Kellyanne Conway. The punishment for not voting is a stupid fucking moron in the White House. And those are the nice things that his cabinet members actually said about him. The problem is that we are in a gunfight, and the Republicans and Trump have quite literally brought a nuclear bomb, and the Democrats have brought cilantro and gluten-free samples from Trader Joe's. Democrats are so timid. Even our chants at the rally were designed not to trigger anyone's feelings. I actually heard a group yelling, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to leave now of his own accord in an orderly fashion. We do not consent to this presidency." We're speaking up, saying no, demanding our voices be heard, while simultaneously waiting our turn, careful not to alienate anyone else, also speaking their truth. We can do better. We have to do better. We must do better. We will do better. It starts with registering to vote. If you are over the age of 18 and are a legal citizen of the United States, register to vote. Do it now. Seriously, if you don't, we will find what's left of your radioactive zombie corpse, and we will blame you for the nuclear war with North Korea. If you're a parent with a 17-year-old who will turn 18 before Election Day, please make sure that your kid registers to vote. If you're a kid turning 18 before the 6th of November 2018 and would like for it to still be legal to tell your parents to fuck off, register to vote. If you want the ability to choose what you do with your own body, register to vote. If you'd like that your gay friends can still have the same rights that you enjoy, you must register to vote. If you'd like your cool Instagram friend from that Muslim country to visit you during spring break, you have got to register to vote. So, here is your action plan. 1, register to vote. 2, there are 24 Democratic candidates in swing districts. Those are the districts where a Republican won the previous election by a small margin, where Democrats now think that they can win. Those candidates need your support. One website that can connect you to a swing district in your area is swingleft.org. If that is not your thing, you can also volunteer with your local Democratic congressperson or senator or other Democratic organizations in your area. They all need help making phone calls, passing out leaflets, and getting Democratic voters to the polls. You can also find a candidate you like. Send them a few dollars. Put a sign up on your front lawn. Call your congressperson and tell them about the issues that you care about. Okay, that is it for this episode of Be Less Stupid. I am urging you to please share this on social media. With Facebook's new algorithm, content like this only reaches its intended audience if you share it. And at some point, Facebook is going to ask if you think that these videos are trustworthy. Please, I'm begging you, say that they are. Because they are. Anyway, thank you all very much, and I will see you next time on Be Less Stupid.